Hi, and welcome to Chamber Chat via Zoom. I'm Danielle McFadden, president of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. I'm so excited to have our newest member here. I have David Rader. He is the owner and principal of 𝗵𝗲 Architecture. How are you, David?
Doing very well. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here. You are a new member and a new company to the area. So tell us all about 𝗵𝗲 Architecture.
So yeah, 𝗵𝗲 Architecture is a small architecture and interior design firm focusing mainly on hospitality design. We do a lot of work with restaurants, hotels, also do some residential work as well on the side, doing additions for homes, whether it be a great room addition or adding a second floor to a house or even a ground up house. We've been in business for about 2 years now, started in January of 2020. I'm a licensed architect and I work with a series of different interior designers and collaborate with a bunch of people who, whether it be product reps or people who have specialties in kitchen design or anything like that. I have a background of 20 years of experience working in a bunch of different Boston firms, doing all kinds of work with a House of Blues, King's Bowl, Trillium Brewing Company for just a few of my clients in the past. But I love working in the restaurant industry. I love helping out those clients. They definitely have, the meaning of hospitality in them when they, want to open a restaurant or a brewery or whatever it be. And they want you to come in, feel welcome, be at home. And I love designing spaces for those people. So it's been invigorating to actually start my own company and kind of do all this stuff on my own. I've got, a lot of background in a bunch of different things, which I think helps me kind of be a well-rounded architect and designer for these clients. And I'm happy to help from start to finish, even from looking at a space to helping them even with, construction details as the project is being built as well. So yeah, David Rader from 𝗵𝗲 Architecture.
That is incredible. And I love the fact that you're willing to work with them even when they're looking at a space, because you bring such a unique perspective and eye to the project since you have so many years of experience.
Yeah, it's been interesting. One client that I worked with was looking for a space for almost 3 years. And he was looking at a bunch of different warehouse space. He owns a brewery in Beverly. And he was looking at warehouse space because he knew that they had kind of the bones of the structure that he needed to kind of get it to work. But, there were some things that he wasn't thinking of, like, for instance, the entrance to the industrial space he was looking at was at loading dock height. And you have to be able to get people in and out and have it be accessible. So he had to add like a giant ramp to get that space to work. And then as he kind of started going through it, he was like, well, wait, I need a lot of power to run my brewing system and run a kitchen and things like that. And he started looking at the power requirements and was like, oh, this doesn't have enough power. Maybe the next unit does or something like that. So I walked through, I think we looked at 4 or 5 different spaces. And then he finally found a real estate agent that kind of helped him find a business that was going out of business, and kind of was like, wait, they're a machine shop. They have all the power that you need. They have, the plumbing that you need. It's the same kind of warehouse space and it's on grade. They have they have 2 garage doors for loading in all the big equipment, stuff like that with the big fermenters and things. So we negotiated with them for a while. And it was a fun process to kind of help him like look for the right space that would be the right fit, be the right size that he could expand as well. But it's one of those things that I think a lot of clients, when they're trying to open a business like a restaurant or a brewery, may not have that knowledge of what exactly to look for. So I was more than thrilled to provide that, service and help him kind of select between a couple of different places and kind of get the right one for him.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because like you said, somebody might come into a space and think, oh, that's the right space for me. And then once they get in there, they're kind of stuck. If they take you along for the ride, they'll be much better situated when they open their business because they'll have found a space that's conducive to what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's one of those things too. I've done this for so many years. I have the vision of being able to walk into and be like, oh wait, we could take these walls down and reconfigure this. Do you want to have, like your pickup counter be over here? Do you want like your seating over here? Well, what about like, where's the kitchen going to go? And look at the space and be like, oh, well, the hood is over here. They've already had all the infrastructure for that. We'll build the kitchen around this, kind of resituate the area to, if you want more seating, less seating, you need a bigger kitchen, smaller kitchen, like that kind of thing. It's kind of great to be able to kind of help all these people that are trying to open a business and, that just want to serve people and make them happy.
And that must be so much fun coming in for the first time and seeing the final product.
It is. It is. It's one of those things. It's something that I can kind of visualize in my head. So it's always fun with the client to kind of work with them and try to pull out like their vision and their ideas. I always think of myself as like a conduit, basically. I'm not, a designer that comes in with a preconceived notion of what you should have your space look like. I want to take your ideas, your thoughts, your process, how you want to interact, how you want to face the world, and then translate that into a 3D space. And it's always really fun to use a lot of the 3D modeling tools that we use to kind of create the space, kind of put some of the finishes on it and see if we're meeting the vision and idea that they had pictured in their head. Because I can kind of like start to build it as they start to kind of create this vision. And it's always fun to kind of show them, oh, it could be like this, or it could be like that, or show them a couple of different options, and definitely try as hard as I can to get, their vision as much into the 3D space as I can.
Yeah, that must feel pretty cool when they say, wow, how did you take what I had in my head and translate it onto paper and then into the actual space?
Yeah, it's really great to kind of see people's reactions as things kind of get built and as they kind of start to form. It's one thing to kind of look at a pretty picture that we can create and say, oh, this is what the space is going to look like. But as they see the bits and pieces go together, like you can just see the excitement building and that they're ready to like get in there and start working.
And then you mentioned also residential. I mean, the past year, people have spent so much time in their own homes that now everybody's like, this is working for me. This isn't. How can I make the space more conducive to our family?
Right.
That must be fun too, working with families and individuals on their homes.
It is. It is. It's an interesting process because, especially over the last year, I remember actually I was helping a client down in Sandwich add a second floor to their house. And it was funny because they had to go to the historic registration or through historic to kind of get it approved. And I looked and like all the home renovations kind of exploded like last summer through the fall and stuff like that. It was actually kind of interesting to look at the agenda for historic, and I think they were going to see 40 homes at one meeting at one time.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and my client had their home on that as well. So that they were adding a second floor and then a small like studio house like off to the side that was like a separate garage and kind of a workspace above. But it's been really interesting to kind of, help them. I use the same tools that I do with the restaurants. I can build the whole house in 3D. I can walk them through it. I can show them 3D views of what it'll look like and do different options of, well, we could put this over here, we could move this. And then I've actually, through Zoom, it's actually been a great tool that I've been able to, talk to clients live and be able to edit the model while we talk to them. So the homeowners can be like, oh, well, I don't want that window over there, or maybe I want to change that to a sliding door instead. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And I can just do that live while they watch. And then we can kind of look around the whole house and be like, oh yeah, that looks better. Or I want to do that, or I want to do this. And so it's been kind of a fun collaborative process.
I love that. And I was actually going to mention Zoom because now you're accessible to people from not only the Lowell area, but you mentioned Sandwich. I mean, some of these things now can be done virtually, which is amazing.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that it took me kind of a while to figure out like, oh, wait, I could, instead of spending the time kind of building their space and then meeting with them like you traditionally would, you kind of print out all your drawings, you go drive to their house, you meet with them. Now it's a lot more interactive to just be able to pop on Zoom. I can pull up everything live and we can just kind of go through it. It's been a great tool.
And how has it been really ramping up your business in the middle of a pandemic?
It's been interesting. Yeah, I was really excited to start in January of 2020. Had a bunch of leads that were coming into the end of 2019, handful of restaurants, repeat clients, things like that. Then when 2020 hit, I pivoted. I offered free services to a lot of the restaurants and clients I'd worked with to do social distancing of tables or help them find vendors that could put in, plexiglass barriers between seating or between, counters and that sort of thing. And then also started working on different competitions as well to try to see what does the future of a restaurant look like? What does the future of a hotel look like? I collaborated with a few friends of mine. We ended up coming up with 3 different designs that we entered into an international competition and got 2 of them published in a magazine, which was really nice.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm using the reaction for that. You did not tell me that when we met. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was, it was soon as kind of a lot of the work kind of slowed down in kind of March, April, and some of the bigger projects we had kind of went on pause. We just decided, hey, there's this competition coming up that's due the end of May. Let's see what we can come up with. We have some downtime, to kind of collaborate and kind of work on something and think of something outside the box. And it was great. It was sponsored by NEWH, which is a hospitality networking group that I'm a part of. And they did a special edition magazine called Beyond, where they featured a bunch of different architects and interior designers work, of how to rethink space, how to rethink hotels, restaurants, all kinds of stuff. So we were really honored to be featured in that magazine. That was great.
That is amazing. Wow. Talk about taking what could have been just a really dire time at the beginning of 2020 and making lemonade out of it. I mean, being published, and now your business is pretty good right now.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's booming. Yeah, it was interesting. I think there were a lot of people that were really wanting to open a restaurant, do something to their house, something like that. And they were kind of waiting until 2021 started. I think it was a lot of optimism for the vaccine and things like that. And then business really exploded in February. I signed 9 projects.
Wow.
I get 2-3 leads a week for new restaurants, residences, all kinds of stuff. So it's been really good.
That is incredible. Well, congratulations. It must
Thank you
feel
so
pretty
much.
good.
It does. This has been a dream of mine ever since I was in, undergraduate school. I was always thinking I want to start my own firm, and now I'm here. I couldn't be happier.
That's great. I'm so happy for you. Is
Thank
there
you.
anything else you want the viewers to know about 𝗵𝗲 Architecture?
No, I mean, I really want to help out. I want to work with people. I want to create their vision live, build out their space, help them in any way I can. I love creating space for people. I love walking them through their ideas, coming up with inventive solutions to kind of fix issues or problems that may arise in the design process. And I'm really passionate about the work that I do, and definitely want to help out as many people as I can and create as many beautiful spaces as I can.
Well, you can tell you're passionate about what you do. Now, if somebody's interested in either opening up a business or maybe doing some work on their home, how does the process go? Can they set up a quick Zoom to talk to you? How do you?
Yeah, that we can set up a
initially?
quick Zoom to kind of go through it. A lot of people have reached out, and I say, send me photos of what you're looking at, if it's in your house or, where you're looking. I'm happy to go out on site and visit with people. I'm fully vaccinated. I'm ready to kind of walk the site. There's nothing quite like being visually and in the space and kind of walking through it, talking about ideas. And that's kind of how the process starts. Usually it's a first contact, then seeing the space. Then we come up with a design proposal of what we think the scope is, then review it with the client to kind of refine it and get it exact to what they need, and then start the design process. And then the design process can be either live or through Zoom.
Excellent. So much flexibility there. You really can accommodate anybody's needs and schedules.
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Well, welcome to the chamber. I'm so happy
Thank
for
you.
you, all your success so far. I can't wait to follow your journey and see how your company continues to grow, and most importantly, help businesses and people, which sounds like that's at the core of what you try to do on a daily basis.
Yeah, I'm excited for the future.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I'm going to include the links to all your contact information, your website, your email, your phone number when we post the video.
Okay, thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
The Coalition for a Better Acre invests in communities, developing stable neighborhoods, and building futures. Since day one, Enterprise Bank has been CBA's leading local funder because Enterprise understands commercial lending, how to streamline the process, and make it easy, serving as a trusted advisor and partner. Whatever your idea of success, Enterprise can help get you there. Enterprise Bank. Create real success. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.